Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya.
Asmat Guru Bhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Guru Bhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Guru Bhyo Namaha. So the next section of the Pancaratra Prayoga is page 13. We get to Patti Sarbandam. This is usually done prior to any ceremony lasting longer than one day. The Raksha Sutras, or the kankaras, or the that are the threads with dyed in turmeric or something like that, which are tied around people's the right hands for males, the left hand for females, are placed on the coconut used in the Punyavachanam rite. Recite the following stotra while touching the sutras with a darba mushti, which means a bunch of kushagrass, the tips, touch them with the tips. So here we have Vinyogaha mantra. Omasya Sri Sudarshana Kavacha Stotra, Sudarshana Kavacham, Sudarshana Kavacha Stotra Mahamantrasya, Arhibudnyo Rishihi, Anustub Chandaha, Sri Sudarshana Maha, Sri Nasimho Devata, Sahasram Iti Bijam, Sudarshanam Iti Shaktihi, Chakram Iti Kilakam, Mama Sarva Raksharte, Sri Sudarshana Purusha Sri Nasimha, Prityarte Jape Viniyogaha. So, of this hymn of armor of Sudarshana, which is a great mantra, Arhibudnya is the seer, or the rishi. The meter is Anustup. Sudarshana and Narasimha are the two deities. The seed is Sahasram. The power is Sudarshana. The peg is Chakram. It is chanted for my or your complete protection through the invocation of the grace of Sudarshana and Narasimha. So then you run through the Nyasas. So there's a Karanyasa and an Anganyasa. Om Samachakraya Swaha. I'm not quite sure why he's using Swaha instead of Namaha here. Anyway, Swaha and then Angustabhyam Namaha. Om Ham Vichakraya Swaha Tarjani Bhyam Namaha. Om Shram Suchakraya Swaha Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Om Ram Surya Chakraya Swaha Anamikabhyam Namaha. Om Hum Jwala Chakraya Swaha Kanistikabhyam Namaha. Om Sudarshana Chakraya Swaha Tarakalapistabhyam Namaha. Om Sama Chakraya Swaha Hridayaya Namaha. That should be, the R here should be vocalic. It should have a dot underneath it. Om Ham Vichakraya Swaha Shirase Swaha. And I believe the S here should be cerebral with a dot under it. Could be wrong. Anyway. Om Shram Suchakraya Swaha Shikaye Vasate, and the T is a cerebral T. It should have a dot under it. Om Ram Surya Chakraya Swaha Balaya Kavachaya Hum. Om Vat Pat Sudarshana Chakraya Swaha Astraya Pate. Om Bur Bhuvasuvarom Iti Digbandaha. Then we have a dhyana mantra here. This is a normal dhyana mantra for Sudarshana. Shankam Chakram Chachapam Parasomishum Asim Shulapasangkushamscha Vibranam Vajraketam Halamusalagada Kuntam Atyugra Damstram Jwala Kesham Trinetram Jwalada Nalanibam Harake Yura Bhusham Jayat Sat, and that Sat, the T should have a dot under it. It's a cerebral. Sat Kona Samstam, Sakala Ripu Kula Prana Samhara Chakram. Om Namo Bhagavate Sudarshanaya, Bho Bho Sudarshana Dustam, Dharaya Dharaya, Duritam Hana Hana, Papam Daha Daha, Rogam Mardaya Mardaya, Arogam Kuru Kuru, Om Om, Ram Ram, Hrim Hrim, Hroom Hroom, Fat Fat, Daha Daha, Hana Hana, Bhisha Bhisha Swaha. Okay, so then there's a stotram. Mastakam me sahasra sahasraha sahasra palam patu sudarshana. Bruvau me chakrarat patu netre dver kendu lochana. Karnau vedas tuta patu granam me suvibhishana. Vibhishana. Mahadipta kapalau me ostau rudra varapradaha. Dantan patu jagadvandyo rasanam mama sarvada. Sarva vidyarnava patu giram vagishvaro mama. Veerasimho mukam patu chubukam bhaktavatsalaha. Sarvada patu kantam me mega gambhira nishvanaha. Mamaskanda yugam patu darabhar apaharakaha. Banasura bhujaranya davagni. And that seems to be a visarga here. It needs a dot under it. Patu me bhujau. Kala nemi shiras cheta patu me purparadvayam. Karau divyad yuda patu nakam vajra nakopamaha. Kukshim patu mahasura stanau shatru nishudanaha. Patu me hridayam bhakta jananandash chasarvada. Sarva shastrata sad, and that should be a dot under the D, that's a cerebral D. Sadbhuti hetuhu, a dot under the H to make it a visarga. Patu daram mama. Vaksha patu mahadharo divi danava mardanaha. Parshvau me patu dinarta. Sharanagata, that should be a dot under the N here, I believe. Cerebral N. Sharanagata Vatsala. Sarvada Prishta Desham me Devanam Abhaya Pradaha. Nabhim Satkona Dama me Patu Ganta Rava Katim. Arimula Puman Patu Guhya Desham Nirantaram. Uru patu mahasuro januni bhima vikramaha. Jange patu mahabego galpo patu mahabalaha. Pado patu sada shrido brahmadhyayar abhivanditaha. Patu pada taladvandvam vishvabharo nirantaram. Sudarshana nasimho me Shariram patu sarvada. Mama sarvanga romani. Jvala kesha sarakshatu. Anta bahischa me patu. Vishvatma vishvatomukaha. Rakshahinam yatstanam prachandas tatra rakshatu. Sarvato dikshu me patu. Jvala sata parivritaha. Trinemi patumat pranam. Bhatrin, there should be a dot under the R here, make it vocalic. Bhatrin patva nala jutihi. Bharyam lakshmi sakha patu putran patu sudarshanaha. Shri karo me shriya patu bandhun patu baladikaha. Gopamscha pashun patu sahasrara darasada. Chetram vishvam varapatu mitram patva ganashanaha. Diva ratro chamam patu ahibudnya varapradaha. Shodasho, it should be done under the no dot. Shodasho tunga bahustu Patu me Rajya Sammukam. Airi Dvesha Sangetu Sangarame Shatru Sudanaha. Avantara Abadascha Trayasyet Sarvakalikam. Adi Vyadi Mahavyadi Madhye Chopa Drave Tata. Apamrityu Mahamrityu Nasayet Chakra Nayakaha. Para Prayuta Mantramscha Yantra Tantra Vibhanjanaha. Sudarshano Yam Asmakam Durdasha Dukanashanaha. Sarvasampat Pratata Chakrarajo Nirantaram. Japam Patu Jagad Vandyo Manasam Akshaya Pradaha. Pramadamscha Astradham Maso Yanam Rakshatu Sarvada. Animadi Maheshwaryam Patu Samraja Siddhidaha. Tiryag Jwalagni Rupascha Nasta Rajatado Mama. Rajam Patu Sahasrara Padatim Patu Vachutaha. Chaturanga Balastomam Raksha Mam Chakrabhavana. Jyotirmayas Chakraraja Sarvan Varuna Rakshakaha. Akhanda Mandita Patu Parachakra Apaharakaha. Trivikramas Chakra Raja Patu Dairyam Sadamama. Namo Dasha Disha Vyapti Kirtim Patu Sudarshanaha. Ayur Balam Vritim Patu Lokatraya Vayapahaha. Sudama Mandala Samvishto Maya Pancha Susitalaha. Raja Dvare Sabhamadye Patu Mam Chandavikramaha. Purve Sudarshana Patu Agneye Patu Chakrarat. Yamye Ratangaka Patu Trinemi Patu Nairite. First one is without a dot, first R, and second one is vocalic with a dot. Re. Lokatraya Prabhakara Jvalo Rakshatu Pashchime. Sat should be a dot under the T, making it cerebral. Sat Kona Patu Vayavye Yastra Rajotamam Disham. Aishanyam Chakrarat Pat Chakrarat. I don't think that there's a dot under that, but that's a dental T. Patu Madhye Bhu Chakra Chakrina. Ananta Aditya Sankasha Antarikshao Chame Chapatume. Sarvato Dikshume Patu Jwala Sahasra Sampritaha. Evam Sarvatra Samraksha Sarvada Sarvarupavan. Sakara Pritivigneyo Akara Apa Uchete. Shrakaro Vayur Uktas Cha Rakarom Bara Uchete. Humkara Agnirityu Ityahu Patkara Surya Rupakam. Swahakaram Yasen Mudni Pita Raksha Suvarnakam. Sakaram Nasikayam tu Hakaram Vadane Yaset. Shrakaram Hridaye Chaiva Shristi Samhara Karanam. Rakaram Vinyased Guhye Humkaram Janudeshike. Hakaram Gulpa Deshe tu Takaram Parayon Sarvani Chaiva. There's a dot under the end here, it's probably cerebral. Sarvani chaiva varnani japyan yanguli japyan yanguli parvasu. Chipram Saudarshanam Chakram Jwala Malati Bhishanam Sarvadaitya Prasamanam Kuru Deva Varachuta Sudarshanam Mahajwala Chindi Suvedanam Parayantram Chitantram Cha Chindi Mantro Sadhaidikam Sudarshana Mahachakram Govinda Te Karayuda Sumadhara Mahavega Chindi Subhairava Chindi Patam Chalutam Cha Chindi Goram Mahadvisham. Okay, so that's the stotra, and then there's a Palashruti which gives us the benefit of chanting that stotra, after which we go back and have a look at the Nyasas. Iti so darshanam divyam kavacham. Yes, it's a kavacham, Sudarshana kavacham. Kavacham sarva karmada. Sarva bhada prasamanam. Sarva jadi vinashanam. Sarva shatru kshayakaram. Sarva mangaladayakam. Trisandyam patatam rinam. Sarvada vijaya pradam. Sarva papa prashammanam. Bhoga moksheka sarakam. Pata utaya yo bhaktya pated etat sadanaraha. Ite sarveshu kaleshu vigna tvapi najayate. Yaksha rakshasa vetala bhairavascha vinayakaha. Shakini dakini jeshta. Nidra Bala Grahadayaha Bhuta Preta Pisacha Dya Anye Dushta Grahanapi Kavacha Te Japtaram Kavacha Te Japtaram. I think there's a missing syllable here. Drista Matrena Te Kilaha Palayante Yata Naga Pakshi Raja te darshanam. Asyayutam puraschayam dashamsha tila tarpanam. Havan tarpanam chaiva. Tarpanam ganda vadina. Pushpanjalir dashamsham cha. Mishtanam sagrita putam. Chatur vimsad Vija Bhoja Vaishnava Veda Paragaha Pancha Samskara Sampanas Tat Kalyani Sadayet Vinyate Angeshu Idam Dhiro Yudartam Yo Bigachati Rane Jitva Akilan Shatrun Vijayi Bhavati Dhruvam Mantritambu Trivaram Va Pibet Sapta Dina Vadi Vyadaya Pra Vinasyanti Sakala Kukshi Sambhavaha Mukha Prakshalane Netra Nasika Roga Nashanam Bita Nam Abhishekam Cha Mahabhaya Nivaranam Sapta Bhi Mantritena Tulasi Mula Mrittika Lepan Nasyanti Te Roga Sadhya Kushta Dayo Kilaha Lalate Tilakam Srinam Mohanam Sarva Vasyakrit Paresham mantra yantrani tantranyaapi vinashakrit. Vyala sarpadi sarvesham visha apaharanam param. Sovarne rajate vapi burje tamradike piva. Likitva tvar chayed bhaktya Sa Shriman Bhavati Dhruvam Bahuna Kim Ihop Tena Yad Yad Van. There should be a tilde over the end here. It's a palatal. Vanchiti titi yo naraha. Sakalam prapnuyate kavacham te prasadataha. Iti vihagendra samitayam tantra rahasye sudarshana kavacham sampurnam. This is the end of the Sudarshana Kavacha from the Vihagendra Samhita. Right. As an alternative, one can chant the Aparajita mantra. Before we do that, let's have a look at up here. There's a question about how to perform the Nyasas. These are very simple Nyasas. Everybody should know. If you don't know how to perform Karanyas and Anganyas, Karanyas is performed on the fingers. Anganyas is performed on the upper body, both in 6 places. Angustabhyam Namaha means 2 thumbs. Tajjanibhyam Namaha means the 2 index fingers. Madhyamabhyam Namaha means the 2 middle fingers. Anamikabhyam Namaha is the Anamika fingers or the no-name fingers, or otherwise called the Pavitra fingers. Kanistikabhyam Namaha is the two little fingers. Karatala Kala Pristabhyam is the front, the tala, and the prista, the back of the hands, like that. So we take the 4-finger in Karanyas and we run the index fingers of the 2 hands up from the base of the thumb up to the tip of the thumb, and we say Angustabhyam Namaha. Then we take the thumb and we trace from the base of the tip of the index finger up to the tip of the ring finger, the index finger, and we say Tajjanibhyam Namaha. Then we take the thumb and we do the same for the middle finger, Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Same for the no-name finger, the Pavitra finger, Anamikabhyam Namaha. Same for the little finger, Kanistikabhyam Namaha, and then we touch the back and the right hands with both hands, Karatala, and Karaprastabhyam Namaha. That is Karanyas. Now, followed by Anganyas, that's the basic Karanyas. So anybody who doesn't know basic Nyasas, they should probably not be reading this, and they should go to another video and watch how to do basic Nyasas. Okay, but because this is an advanced book, this is a book about this Pancaratra Prayoga is for temple worship. So it's assumed that the person who's learning temple worship already knows how to do simple Vaishnava ritualism, like simple Nyasas like this, which would be there probably in Sanyavandanam or in some home worship. So then we have the Anganyas. Saranganyas is performed in 6 places in the upper body. So Hridaya Namaha, touch the heart. Sirse Swaha, touch the head. Chikavasade, touch the shika. Balaya Kavachaya Hum, touch the 2 shoulders. Netrabhyam Vosate, touch the 2 eyes. Or if you have to touch the 3rd eye, you say Netra Trayaya Vosate. Right? Astrayapate, slap the palm of the left hand with 2 fingers of the right hand. And Om Bhurvavasvaha Iti Digbandaha, we snap the fingers while going clockwise around the head. If you are a smarta and you do this in the beginning and at the end of the puja, right? Which is possible. You can do this in the beginning of japa or the end of japa of any sort of mantra or puja or something like that. You do it in the beginning. And you can also do it at the end. If you do it at the end, you are not closing. Digbandaha means to close the directions, and you do it clockwise, clicking the fingers. And when you click the fingers anti-clockwise at the end, right, you say Om Bhurvavasvaha Iti Digvimokaha, and you open up the directions. So it's like invoking a force field around you before, and at the end, breaking that up, opening up that force field and opening up the directions. Okay. So let's go back after the Sudarshana Kavacha. We have, after the Patti Sarbandam is performed as a raksha. It's to protect the person from any problems that they have of asocha or titu. In Tamil, we say titu. Asocha means that he may have some subtle impurities due to a death in the same gotra or the same family. Or a birth, and this protects the person. So he puts on the kankana or the raksha bandhana, which is a sutra which is put around the wrist like that. That is called Patti Sarbandam, and you can do it even for a short ritual, which you do even for one day. But normally, it's done for if you have a ritual of more than one day. Okay, so now we have this aparajita mantra, which could be an alternative to this Sudarshana Kavacha. Om Namo Bhagavate Anantaya Sahasrashirsaya Sugandha Chiranavashayine Shesha Bhoga Paryankaya Garuda Vahanaya Vasudevaya Namaha Pita Vasase Sankarshana Pradyumna Aniruddha Hayashirsha Vraha Narasimha Vamana Trivikrama Rama 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 Krishna Parabrahma Namostute. The reason for saying Rama 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 is because we're talking about Das avatars here. So there is Parshurama, Dasarathi Rama, and Balarama. Okay, 3 Ramas. So then we go on. We say Asura Daitya, Yaksha Rakshasa, Bhuta Pisacha, Siddhi, Yogini, Dakini, Brahma Rakshasa, Vinayaka, Putana, Revati, Skanda, Purvogama, Graha, Nakshatra, Grahana, 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 right, Grahana, Mahagraha, Grahana, Hana, Daha, Pacha, Mada, Pataya, Akyata, Grihana, Avisha, Dvamsi, Trashaya, Drahya, Chakrena, Gadaya, Vaktrena, Gadaya, Vakrena, Bhasma Kuru, Sahasrara, Sarvam, Mukhya, Praharanayuda, Baho, Jaya, Vijaya, Ananta, Aparajita, Aparihata, Sahasra Netra, Jwala, Vishvarupa, Marusudana, Mahapurusha, Vaikuntha, Narayana, Padmanabha, Rishikesha, Sarvabhuta, Vashankara, Shankachakra Gadadhara, Sarvabhuta Namaskrita, Sarva Naga Pramardana, Sarvasuro, Utsadhana, Janardana Namostute. Okay. A lot of these tantric mantras, they have these words which sometimes they mean something, sometimes they don't mean something. Sometimes they're onomatopoeic. They have a particular sound which gives like we have pat, daha means burn, pacha, mada, pate. They may have a meaning or may not have a meaning, but they're repeated for the sound effect in a tantric mantra like this. Okay, agamic mantra. So tie Raksha Sutra around the right wrist of male participants and the left wrist of females while they hold the coconut cupped in their hands. So what you do is you take the coconut, which you probably used just now for, you can have another one too, or you just use the one from the Punyavachanam that you just performed, the Vasudeva Punyavachanam, and you hold it in your hands. You ask them to cup their hands and you drop it into their hands. They catch it, and because they're holding the thing, that means that they'll keep their hand level and straight and still, and then you can tie the Raksha Bandhana on their hand, on their wrist. And then there's a very famous verse here. This is coming from the Jitante Sutra, which is very long, of course, but here, this is just the first verse. Jitante Pundari Kaksha Namaste Vishwabhavana Namaste Sturshi Kesha Mahapurusha Purvaja. Okay, so you can also, another thing that you can do is you can take the coconut and you can put the strings on it, and you can perform some Sudarshana or some Shesha, Ananta Shesha puja on the strings like that, and then you can just say this mantra, Jatante Pundarika Namaste Vishwavabhana Namaste Sturishikesha Mahapurusha Purvaja, and tie it on. And you can tie it on the deities too. If the deities are involved in a particular ceremony, you can also tie it on the Yajamanas and the other people who are involved in the ceremony. So the main priest, the Yajamana, the assistant priest, the Paricharikas, the assistants, and whoever's the Yajamana, whoever is sponsoring the puja. So that is Patti Sarbandam.
Om Namo Narayana